injuries. Without a couple key players through a lot of the season, Leland Archer, club captain, nearly back to full fitness as this ball rolls into the box. Turning centrally, it's blocked. The second effort finds the back of the net. Charleston Battery breakthrough.
Welcome to the Can of Crüe. I am Granite. I am joined by Patrick. How are you, Patrick?
Sitting in limbo over here. Feel like Leonardo DiCaprio in Inception, waiting for a baby.
Do they deliver these babies? They come by storks, trucks.
It was very windy today. It's supposed to be stork, so they might have switched to shipping.
Yeah, maybe. Hopefully they didn't go to some, crappy.
Wrong address again.
Yeah. They sent a picture of somebody else's house. Ryan, how are you?
Doing great.
What's
Great.
that?
How are you?
I'm all right, but I'm trying to figure out what that says on that scarf that you might have won on Saturday night.
Oh, this lovely battery scarf right here. This is Charleston Battery.
Very
nice.
I don't think I've seen one like that.
Yeah,
It's looking sharp.
It's super nice.
Is it a lightweight one?
No, it's the knitted one, like the heavy one. Yeah,
Good for these
exactly.
veterans coming.
Nicer. Yeah.
So what's been going on in the soccer world that we do not know about that you want to educate us on?
There's some new works going on the side for goalkeepers that I'm currently working on. So if you're a goalkeeper in the Charleston area, stay tuned. There will be some stuff being sent out regarding summer camps, sessions, all that stuff. So super exciting. And just looking to get back after it. Excited for this fall season to start.
Cool. Patrick, what about you?
Just waiting for a baby. That's it. That's all there is right now.
Well, the transfer market is open, so it is time.
Yeah. You transfer one baby in.
And what? That's it. Just one baby.
And maybe one player from Loudoun United to the Battery would be nice.
I tell you what, the baby over time will bust out your financial fair play safeguards you're supposed to have. So good luck with that.
We will not be filing our FFP paperwork any longer.
Maybe you need an oil country to sponsor you or something like that.
I will sell the baby toys to myself.
Well, fantastic. The weather here has been a little warm last couple of days, and it keeps getting warmer and warmer. I spent Saturday night hanging out with a great group of people, the Cepedas and their family, and congratulations to Waldo Jr. and his wife. They were married Saturday, and we had a great time in Walterboro. Great music, great drinks, great food. It was a fantastic time. And if you don't know the Cepedas, they are very kind of well known in the world of soccer, especially Charleston United, that area. And Carlos, their youngest son, played in Europe a little bit. He was there. I didn't recognize him. Now he's getting he looked like a young man before he was 16, 17 years old. And now he's growing up. But it was a blast. We had a good time. Kids went out there. I'll send you all the picture. Not all you all, but Ryan and Patrick. So there was about 7 the boys, or it's probably about 10 of the boys that played for junior and senior a while back, and they were all there, and they're all 6 foot tall, and a great picture of all of them standing next to each other, all sweaty because they were out there kicking the ball around while the rest of us were drinking. So that was awesome. Fun. Great place in Walterboro. Had some snakes in it up front, but out back, fantastic venue. Now let's talk about the venue that was up in Virginia. 1-1 draw. And I think, Patrick, you mentioned that right before we left last time, right? Was that on there?
Yeah, I mentioned we would be idiots for none of us picking a draw between two teams that did not have a draw yet. So, yeah, idiot over here.
Idiot.
Yeah.
I was trying to watch it. Mike Sherman was there also, and so as things were happening, festivities, people giving toast, he had his phone out on his thigh, so it looked like I was looking down his crotch the whole time, but I was actually looking at his phone, watching the game. So it was kind of interesting. I was trying to be quiet and not start cussing too much out loud, especially during speeches, because that doesn't quite go well.
Yeah, that's a good idea. It was a very exciting game for once. We didn't have too much in this game that you look at and you go, well, damn it, that was a dumb mistake, or that was a dumb mistake. I thought it was very back and forth for most of the game and very attack forward. I mean, it was a joy to watch, although it ended in a draw. It was one of my more favorable matches I've seen this year so far.
Yeah.
And both the goals on both sides, it was just kind of bouncing around, right? And just people's legs got in the way and they got through.
Yeah, their goal, I mean, we'll talk about it, but it came from a little bit of a, we'll say, interesting scenario where I think we lucked out in the end run, but the result was a goal either way. So at least it wasn't a goal and a red card. So.
Oh, that's, yeah.
Ryan?
Oh, I'm going to say something. Oh,
any general thought?
No, yeah, the game was really good, and it was a really good game to watch, but it was also very frustrating. And I want people, like, if they're watching the game and stuff like that, to understand where we're coming from when we say, like, it's still a very exciting game, even though it was 1-1. You had a lot of shots. You had these teams going back and forth, continuously trying to counter each other. Loudoun was constantly trying to counter the Battery. Then the Battery would try to quickly get down the field, counter back a little bit as well. Loads of shots, and unfortunately for the Battery, it was just a lot of mishaps in the first half when it came to shooting, putting the ball, just trying to get the ball in the back of the net until ND found it, which we'll get to in a little bit. But all in all, it was a great game. Wish we got the result. But I feel stupid on our end because I just looked at the other results. There was 3 teams going into Saturday without a tie on the whole season. It was Charleston, Loudoun, and New Mexico, and all 3 teams tied. So should have picked that one.
Can't hear you, Brad. Are you alive?
Is he okay? He's trying to talk over there.
There's this strange button that has like a microphone thing and it has a cross through it. And apparently, if you push that thing, it doesn't allow my voice to go out to the world so everyone can hear.
We'll get the engineers on that right away.
I sack the engineer like once a week. And he still shows up. And I'm not paying him crap either. Okay, back to looks like we're what's that? He's drinking for dinner. Tequila Saturday night. He's still hungover from Saturday night drinking all that tequila. But anyways, Loose City's popped up to first, and we dropped down to second. For some reason, we all have 11 games played, and we're 8-2-1, and they're 7-4. I hate that. We always, when you have more wins, and you're still not in top position. And Loudoun's right behind us.
How are they above us right now when we're tied on points and our goal differential is better?
That I don't know. It must be so we have 2. We have 2 losses. I don't know. I don't know. I thought I knew what the.
I thought it went points then goal differential. That's weird.
I would think goal differential, maybe not. I don't know. Well, I'll let you talk for a little bit. It says head-to-head points, goal differential in head-to-head matches, and then points per game versus in-conference opponents in regular season.
So head-to-heads before goal differential?
Yep.
Okay. So, yeah, we lost to Louisville right at the beginning of the season.
We allowed them to win. I like to say it that way.
Yeah.
That way when we smack them down later, it's a big fall from the top.
Now, granted, I assume you didn't get to watch much of the game besides some highlights and maybe a little snippet here and there.
Correct.
Yeah. So, I mean, this was good for you because I think you would have went ballistic at a wedding the way the announcer kept saying JD for Torres the entire time. Instead of saying Juan David or just Torres, he would say, and JD Torres, JD Torres.
But like, just totally ruined his name. Like he tried. I felt like that announcer tried his hardest just to ruin his name. Like
He didn't give up on it. In fairness,
No,
he
he
kept
didn't.
going with it.
Because he knew I wasn't listening. I would have found his name. JD Torres. Hi, it's JD Torres. It's because he can't pronounce Juan David. He went
Juan David.
JD Torres. Those announcers, I want to get started. They just piss me off. I know we're like amateurs here, but for fuck's sake, we could do a much better job than 90% of them we'd listen to this season.
I mean, you would definitely call down to the cameraman and say, just wipe the lens with a cloth, please. It's fuzzy. There's a streak of dirt on the one half of the screen. Please just do a quick wipe and we'll be good. I mean, there's very few things that bother me, but the OCD was kicking in on that one, just being like, someone's got to tell this guy just
You
to
mean
wipe the
dirty
lens.
lens?
Yeah.
Dirty lens? I don't know why you'd pay attention to that. I mean,
Not important.
It's not like it's a video broadcast, right?
Yeah. So that distracted me enough from the corner flags just being set on cones.
Did I get the street? The corner flags are what? That's a damn good thing I didn't watch this match. Maybe I have to go back.
It was
I
a
missed
turf
the
field, so they were sitting on cones in the corner. I don't know why you can't just put a hole in the ground and stick a flag in it.
It was like
Concrete or
a
not.
black holder, right? Like there's like it's like a black
Yeah.
disc that the corner flag sits on top of.
If they put that in Charleston on a summer evening where we get a wild wind gust at 20 miles an hour, there's no more corner flags.
In the ocean, 100%.
This is a professional team. Invest in a hammer drill a hole, put the flag in it. You're fine.
They don't want to mess up their pretty little turf. This stuff is expensive.
I mean, you can put a hole. You can put a hole into it. Put a hole in the turf, and then you just plug it with a pocket, and then you can take the pocket out, put the flag stick back in when it's game time.
Or just put a little bitty hole, right? Just a little bitty one.
Something.
I've seen some.
Or grass. Grass is a viable option for most people to play on.
Grass is amazing. It grows very well in Virginia.
Who
And
would
they just want to ruin it.
Why would you do that?
See, look, Virginia went the wrong way, and they just like almost every single high school and club team now plays on turf up there in Virginia because of like the snow and weather, all that stuff, and kind of ruined it a little bit.
Is there another line that we should be looking at? The reason why they went their own damn way? No. Okay. What other irregularities on the camera? Okay, so we picked out JD Torres, and please forgive me, Juan David, because we know who you are. We see you. The weird cone of silence in the corners and turf field. Anything else? The lack of fan place?
For atmosphere, no. I think that was it. You can just go directly to another USL championship ref trying to make a game about himself, which was evident 6 minutes in with Landry getting a card for touching a guy's arm and the guy just falling down. When the ball is covered.
Yellow card so early for that?
Again, Ryan, I think this is a ref trying to say, I'm in charge, but all that did in this instance was kind of lose control of it. Now we're expecting any touch foul, anything to be a yellow card, yet alone 6 minutes into the game. The guy hasn't even, like, I get it if you're pulling a guy down from behind, sure, but he like touched his arm. The guy flailed over and he gives him a yellow at half field. There's no excuse for that.
Yeah.
I wonder why there's so much inconsistency. I mean, we complain about inconsistency in like the EPL, and it really there is, but it's not. The small things, but what we witness is huge inconsistency between referees, and even throughout the match. Ryan,
in my opinion, I feel like you have so many of these referees now. Once they get to that higher threshold, they have, their opinion. Everyone has their opinions. They have that right to. But they allow that to dictate their decisions in the game along with their, not meaning it in a terrible way, but sort of arrogance and a ego of I'm in charge, kind of like what Pat was saying. And these referees just want everyone to be aware of, who's calling the shots and everything. But in this case, this referee did not go about it the right way. In my opinion, too, Patrick, I don't know if you saw the way he was talking to players. I viewed this referee as an instigator. He was an absolutely 100% an instigator.
Yeah, there was some instances where one that sticks out in my mind was JD Torres getting called
Who's that?
back by the ref on their free kick, and the ref made Juan David walk like 20 yards to him because the ref was not going to move from his spot. You come all the way here just to talk to him for 2 seconds, and then he had to run 20 yards back to his position because they took their free kick when they wanted. He didn't say, wait for my whistle so the guy can go back into his position. Like, it's examples like this where it just muddies the water on the broader view of like really good refereeing or even decent refereeing. And now we just want to nitpick it because you have instances like this. I mean, Landry should never had a yellow card 6 minutes into the game. And that's what I was referencing for the foul that led to their goal. Could have easily been a second yellow and send off, but it shouldn't have been. It should have just been his first yellow card.
I understand sometimes you feel like you need to take control, but you've got to do it evenly, right? If both teams are being aggressive, then maybe, I've always taken it, if both teams are being aggressive, then you've got to draw the line on both sides.
Well,
when you
the referees,
Go
do you
ahead.
talk to players? Do you talk to the captains? Do you talk to the coaches before the game starts as a referee?
Yeah.
And like, let them know what type of referee you're going to be calling this game, and just let them know, like, I'm not dealing with any BS tonight. Or hey, I'm going to let y'all play tonight.
Not the coaches, because who cares? I've had coaches say you've got to explain everything. There is nothing in the laws of the game that says you have to explain shit to a coach.
No,
Nothing
yeah,
you can explain anything really. But if we only had a spot right before the game where the referee and the captains were all together with no one else around, that would probably be an opportune time to go, hey, I'm going to be calling this tight, or hey, I'm not going to tolerate anybody's mouth. Hey, this is the way I want to see you guys play. If there's only that thing, well, I would call it the coin toss. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe that's a good time.
I mean,
you would hope
it's more
out of the tunnel.
Say again.
And this should all be an unwritten rule, right? You don't need a ref bringing someone directly in front of him to talk to him. You could say, hey, let's just knock that off, calm down with the talking, or I'm going to give you a card. And that nips it in the butt. You don't need to have anything else besides that. Right? We don't need I'm in charge here. You need to listen to me. We get it. You are in charge. You're wearing the referee's uniform.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone understands that.
It's sometimes it's kind of this, I don't want to say escalation of force, but maybe it's sometimes I've done this too, is you start calling things a little tighter, then you go, and you realize who the attitudes are coming. So you start talking to them just very briefly, not 20 minutes, calling them all the way back 20 yards, that kind of crap. You just talk to them briefly, look them straight in their eyes and say, hey, that's enough.
Yeah.
And then you start pulling out a card. But to call somebody back 20 yards and like you said, and then allow them to take the free kick before you get back in position, that's too far. If you can call somebody back, do that, blow the whistle, stop everyone, and let them get set back up.
Well, what do you guys think as far as the kind of like the first half? Because I thought it was definitely a battery forward.
Yes.
As far as big opportunities. I think we had one from Cal. You had one from
I had a big one from
MD
post. Oh, that should have been a goal with an assist from Juan David.
Mm-hmm.
It was absolutely beautiful. And I mean, it was an amazing save by the keeper. It was pure reaction, got his body in the air and got that ball over the net. I mean, it's class.
Which one, the MD header or the
was that
the
MD?
Cal,
I thought it was
the Cal
Cal on the
shot?
block post that headed it back, tried to headed it back across, and the keeper flipped it up.
So Cal had the first one like 8 minutes
Yeah.
in where he was 1v1, and then the keeper did make a amazing save with his leg, just getting it out in time.
Oh, so it was MDs I'm talking about then.
Yeah, well, I mean, what a great ball by Dos Santos, by the way. Like,
Yeah.
curled it right over top of both center backs' heads, MDs at the back post. I don't know how he gets fingertips to this thing, but that should have been 2-0 or at least 1-0.
Was that Dos Santos that hit the ball?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
It was
apologize.
it was fantastic.
Dos Santos.
Who was
that
it?
wasn't a ball. Well, look at that. Things up for it.
I had to jump. Did you see it until I jumped? Right, I had to stand on my tippy toes. So let's talk about the Cal goal, because he was out in front. Everything was beautiful, and he did one of those a couple weeks ago, and we talked about, did he take too many touches? Do you think he took too many touches this time, or he had to?
I think it was just a great save. Yeah, because he turned.
Yeah.
He turned with it, and like he did what he was supposed to. He went for that.
He did
side netting on the backside of the keeper, and the keeper's reactions were just incredible. He got his leg out, nick of time for that save. So
that's one thing I will compliment on Loudoun, is that their keeper Hugo, he was by far the most dominant keeper we have faced against this season when it comes to pure reaction time.
Do you think he's better for them than he was for us?
Like him, huh?
Do you think he was better for them than he was for us?
In that game, I mean, he had a lot more writing on it, right? Because he didn't want to lose to his former team.
Same was Zamudia, right?
Yeah.
So they're going to play out of their minds. And, I mean, Hugo did. I mean, he really stepped up big in that way.
Yeah. Well, he didn't save the one before halftime where we finally got one in. I mean,
I don't understand what he did. Thought turned the wrong way.
Yeah, I thought it was chaos. I thought it was like a ricochet shot, but when they showed the replay, you could actually see it slow down, and Cal played it to MD, who then played it back across to JD Torres. I don't know how he misses this thing. But then luckily, the cleanest doctor in all of South Carolina cleans it up.
Too close. He was within 6 yards. He can't hit those things.
You move him back like 40 more yards, he would have had it.
Exactly. That's what the referee was trying to do earlier. You got to shoot from 20 yards out.
But that was it. I mean, it was a goal. It wasn't pretty, but I think for our chances in the first half, we deserved it for sure.
Yeah, and that's what it comes down to. Like, our chances, hard work, everything done in the first half. It's just, you wish it would be more beautiful, but that's also the game of soccer too. You can't choose how the goals are scored and how the games are won or lost or tied even, but to have those opportunities and to continue to figure out our team's identity in a way, we're 11 games into the season. I think it was a great game, great result. Just, we know we got to clean up our finishing a little bit.
That's all you're going to say about MD?
I mean, yeah, right now.
He's still mulling over that headed chance that didn't go in.
That was just bad luck. I hate saying luck, good luck or bad luck in football, but that was just, he did everything he could do. There's a great ball in. He put it back the opposite direction, and
well, I'm still hoping to have MD on the show. So until then, I'll try to hold my excitement for then.
Now, I will say, granted, there was a moment, if you're watching the game back, around I think the 50th minute, the referee makes a yellow card offense tackle on a Loudoun player in the middle of the field. He's laying on his ass, has to blow the whistle dead to give them a free kick because he just flat out.
So Vardy didn't have to come over. Vardy didn't have to come over and blow the whistle off his wrist.
No. But it was one of these moments where it's funny now, but like their free kick from this led to a great chance from Abu Korra, who was on 1v1 with the keeper, but Zamudia made an amazing save on it. So yeah, we can laugh now, but that could have been way worse.
Okay, I'll be quiet. I'm over here looking up flag post. It says the flag post at least 1.5 meters, 5 feet high, with a non-pointed top, and a flag must be placed at each corner. And also, flag posts may be placed at each end of the halfway line. Okay, they have to be outside. I don't know. Maybe we should start that. It's allowed by IFAB, so why not? We should have that.
More sponsorship flags.
Oh,
That is a great idea.
Terrible idea. No more corner flags anywhere. We don't need them.
they're not. They're gonna
More.
It just says flag post, so it's the midfield flag post sponsored by Cannon Crüe.
And Juan David just gets to have a new spot to just constantly hit.
Exactly.
It's gonna be
And
the
every
one
time
day.
It may help our team. I mean, we are number 1 with like 11 set piece goals this season. So
Just so
adding a couple more flags out there might just make them feel comfortable.
You remember last year, though, and we had this talk 10 games in. We were on a great run last year at the very beginning, and we noticed that all of our goals came from open play or penalty kicks. We had hardly any set pieces, no corner kick goals. So you really see where the Battery have put more focus on, but not saying that we're not focusing on open play goals, which we have scored some, like MD Myers' goal was open play, but those set pieces have given us such a boost this season and allowing us to be more threatening, more aerial attacking, and more explosive going into the box and more exciting, honestly. So I love it and hope Juan David keeps shooting from midfield or shoots from his new corner flag post, the 1DV corner at midfield.
I'm sorry, who's that? I only know one. JD Torres.
Oh, sorry. I'll introduce you to 1DV one day.
Okay.
Yeah. You won't forget his face.
His goatee. One day I'll have me a goatee also. So what else you want to talk about the match?
I mean, we'll have to mention their goal because it did come off of a very clumsy challenge by Landry, pretty much on our goal line outside the box, but still, it was kind of a moment where everyone looks at it, holds your breath, like, is that a second yellow? They show a replay and you're just like, oh, he's going to get sent off for that.
I was watching that and I was like, oh, and so.
I mean, fortunately he didn't, but Pierman right away, like Ikaza on for Landry. And then I think Klein came on for, I didn't know Rodriguez was even on the pitch, but the way he was playing. I mean, it might be one of those games where you have to specifically watch him and he's working the whole time, but he's doing the no man's work is you call it, kind of getting everyone else involved. And he seemed absent, but yeah, I don't know if that sub was worth it right then and there because they got a goal from that free kick just straight across.
Was the sub before the free kick?
Yeah.
Do you think they were? I kind of felt like they were going to sub anyways, and they just took that opportunity to sub. Versus,
I mean, it's not. It's not two guys I would want in.
Yeah.
On my own box, like subbing on for, especially Landry. I'd rather have Landry in for that set piece. Next out ball, sub him off.
Yeah. And you at that moment, you just got to yell at your guy he can't he literally cannot do anything wrong in that one play because, that's what Pierman was afraid of. He could have gotten the easy double yellow for the red card. And then on the set piece, if he leaves Landry in, all the guy has to do is go over there and tug the back of Landry's jersey to get Landry to touch him and then just falls down in the box, try to get another yellow for instigating. Or swearing language, trying to get something out of him too, player saying stuff. So I understand Pierman's pointing out on that side, but at the same time too, have to remember that these guys need to stay as disciplined as possible when it comes to situations like this, because Landry should have been able to stay in, help with the free kick, and then he subbed out right away afterwards.
Yeah, if that was, I think I agree with him subbing
Chaos,
out right. Just why take the chance? And then
Yeah.
we should have taken the chance.
No, I mean it's a muted point though, right? Because it wasn't a cross into the box; it was a ball driven on the ground. So
They
I
bounced
guess
around.
the height, the height argument makes no difference because you had 10 other guys on the field not go for a ball.
But you exactly right. But when you're subbing in, you're not as tuned in to what's moving yet as if you've been out there playing.
True, it's not a typical substitution to come in on a defensive set piece,
especially that close to goal. I mean, that was and it was an odd spot from that set piece too. So let's go back to Arturo. So you weren't too far off. Passes, he had 16 to this Torres guy's 53. Long passes 1 to 3, short passes 15 to Torres's 50. It just keeps going on and on. Then he did have 2 chances to read it, but that was it.
Question going back to Landry real quick. He gets taken out of this game. Possible red. Could have been possible red. With how he played and what he could have given up in his discipline, do you guys see him playing in the next game? Like starting next game still? Or would you give him the rest and just take someone else in?
No, I think that's just the way he plays. Since he's been playing out there, he's kind of loose and just kind of always like on the edge of a card.
But you get where I'm coming from too, though, because we're also 11 games in. Landry has not come off the pitch. He's literally started every single game for us, including Jägermeister Cup. The dude's been in every single game almost. So do you take this opportunity where he could have gotten himself taken out of this game to cards? Do you allow him to just take the break the next game? Or
if you're going to do it, this next game's a good game to do it because against Hartford.
That's why I was pitching it.
I'd say you still give him 45, right? Like as a coaching staff, you don't look at anything that happened on that field. That first yellow, that's not a yellow. So you can't blame him for that. That second one, yeah, it's a foul, but maybe it's a makeup call by the ref because he did miss that first one, giving him a yellow to not send him off. He's one of our stronger players, so I don't think I agree with you, Granite. This is the game for it, but I still think he gets 45 minutes. Just the way Segbers is kind of coming back in isn't as strong as probably what he wants. But I think we need 45 minutes from Segbers and then maybe 60 minutes here and there in the next one, something like that.
So do you give Segbers the first 60? I mean, first 45, and then bring in Landry?
Yeah, and I agree, and I absolutely agree with that one too, though, because like with Landry, you don't want, because as Granite said it, he plays loose and he plays quick. Love that about him. Love how he plays. Love his style. Don't want to change it. I just want him to stay healthy. I don't want to see anything out of it. So it's like, that's why I would like for him to take this game off. Just get everything you need to do to get yourself great again. We'll move on. I feel like at some point every 10 or so games, players, you start to see them dwindle and go down. They just need kind of like an off day, like Torres having off for the Jägermeister Cup. You kind of see him boost and how his demeanor is on the pitch afterwards. He is like an uplifting person. He's more involved and in tune as he was in the beginning, but he started to decline a little bit, and now he's got the reborn again, second wind. So I think Landry could be that and excel after that break, possible.
Yeah, I don't. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Patrick.
No, I was just gonna say, I want us to stick with our 2 center backs because we saw in the Open Cup, or not the Open Cup, the Jägermeister Cup. With those 2 guys not playing together, how open and exposed we can be and kind of how no one really takes charge, mainly Edwards getting back in there and just solidifying that line. I have nothing against Nate playing center back role if Edwards is the guy next to him, but I prefer Edwards just to be that pivotal role. I mean, we may see Archer come back in this game for 20 minutes, 15, 20 minutes to end it.
Do you see Nate possibly stepping up and going from outside back to that 6? Like he starts out outside back like Landry, and he just over to the 6, and he played the 2 center backs, Edwards and Joey.
I think you would have Allen. I think you would have Allen back in there, or even Akaza get some minutes. Yeah. And then just kind of keep your MD Cal Jennings up top, because it does work. We didn't convert those 2 chances, but 2 chances within the first 30 minutes of a game that are 1v1 with a keeper.
Yeah.
I'd rather see more of those chances, and if we miss them, then we live with that, as opposed to just not even getting them.
That's fair.
So are you proposing to put Nate up in
Nate at 6?
Not Malloy's, but sitting kind of double pivot like
Yep. After realizing now that he was the one who played the ball over to MD, from that cross, it's like
he was just watching JD.
His crosses have gotten a lot better in the last 4 games. He has stepped up. He's taken more chances going forward himself. He's going in for corner kicks, like trying to get us a corner kick to win, you know?
Or a penalty. He got into the box.
Or a penalty kick too. Yeah. I mean, he's one of these guys where like his pace may not fully be there to be a 6 or the stamina, but I think, 40 minutes being that Landry role, I mean, I like to see what Nate could do.
Now, I will say, Ryan, does Landry playing in that 6 role in this game, do you think that opened it up more? Because he technically was playing more of that 6, where the defense has to worry about this guy getting in behind us, where it kind of leaves a little more space for especially that cross. But I mean, I think Loudoun,
I see what you're saying, but it allowed us to be more threatening. A lot, you saw it a lot in the first half, us being a lot more threatening, having the possession. But as the game goes on, I would have liked to have seen, Landry drop back off, or not necessarily drop back off fully, but to have seen the defense solidify more. That makes sense. And just to hold that ground, the midfield and everything. I felt like we just continued to allow for holes to be created in our back line rather than bolstering it once we went up. And I will for halftime.
Right? I will say it's pretty tough, as in Loudoun did a phenomenal job with their press, and they kept their press for about 20, 25 minutes, led off of it for a good 15-minute spell, and had these granted, I think you talked about in the last one, but kind of we were talking that discussion of do long balls, the XP or XGs. They went into that 15-minute span of going away from their press and just doing more of a long ball approach to release pressure. And it worked. They were in, they had a couple chances, nothing materialized. I think it's a good showing from our defense overall to be able to play against a pressure, against a long ball, and then back against a pressure in the same match, especially the back 4.
But you see how that keeps changing. You're constantly berating them. You're changing it up on them. They're having to adapt to how you're playing now, and you're forcing teams to match you or to want to play to your level. Not all teams can always match that, because you're not going to be able to replicate what you're doing. I thought Loudoun, like you said, Patrick, I think Loudoun executed that very well in their game plan, and it's a very difficult team to hold that too. 25-minute press, 15 minutes off, and then go immediately back into the press of the same players that you had doing the first 25-minute press.
Yeah. Well, if you practice that, then it's much easier. It also gives you a break from your pressing.
You can practice that all day long. It's your heart for that one. To do it in the game, is go doing it, not doing it, and going back to it. That shows straight, pure grit from the players.
I'm not saying it doesn't. I'm just saying that you're better at it if you practice it. If it's just something on the field call, you're like, okay, it's not press for a little bit. That's different, because then everybody just kind of, then kind of slides back and on their haunches. But if that's part of your game plan, hey, we go balls to the wall 25 minutes. We're gonna change it up on them for 15, and then second half do something else similar to that, because it also gives you the other team a different look.
Well, speaking of balls to the wall, what did you think of Abu Korra? Because this is my first paying attention to a guy play on an opposite team, and I want him. I want him on our left side. I think this is a guy who would be that final piece to just getting us a championship.
Huh. Okay.
He drove the ball. He had a shot from distance, which it was a decent save. Zamudia couldn't control it. He had to hit it to the side, then go collect it. But he was also creating these 1-2 passes, overlaps, and just his 1v1 ball retention, 2 defenders on him to get out of it or create a pass from it. It's Juan David-esque, but just in a totally different style, more of a head down, push into you type of player, where Juan David is kind of that 1 yard pullback almost.
Yeah.
I don't know. I thought he was excellent, and I would love a player like that, especially 20 years old, looking to make his career just go up.
And the way he always hit the goal line too. I felt like he was one of those first players I saw that never gave up on a ball going out of bounds, because we see it so many times in games where the ball's going, it's going, and the player's running to it, and then he's 10 yards away, could possibly get to it, and he just quits running for it, and then the ball goes out. The ball went out on him a few times, but his body was laying on the ground, head first into the ground, trying to save the ball from going out. The dude was constantly putting his body on the line just to keep the ball for his team. I can see your point. I'd like to see him over with the Battery, but that would be hard for for us to acquire him, and number 2, for us to fit him into our lineup, honestly, because of the want and desire to have both Cal and MD trying to play with each other, and Torres on the side as well, kind of forcing yourself to take off. Most likely be MD out of those 3. And he's scoring too, so you don't really want to take him off either. But Abu Korra just has that different brain mindset. It's a lot different, and you'd like it too, because it's a change.
I don't think he's going to stick around in the USL for long. But while he's here, I'd like him to get a spell with us. These are the types of players that see the development we've had, the movement we've had to Europe, and bigger and better clubs with more exposure, where a player is attracted to that. And if Loudoun doesn't get deep into the playoffs this year, he's going to want to move somewhere where he can make that happen. Well, get a little more exposure in it.
The thing that Loudoun has, though, that a lot of teams don't have, is that they're connected with DC United. So 2 players from DC United now on Loudoun can easily send Abu Korra back up to DC United at any heartbeat, at any second. So that that puts him up in the MLS.
And if you look at his numbers,
he's an incentive for him to stay.
If you look at his numbers, he's similar to Cal and MD. Shots on target 2-2 and 2. But when you start seeing things where he's the successful crosses 2, and Cal and Matt 0 and 0. What was the other numbers that popped out at me that he was? Here's a negative thing. So duels 1. He had 3. Cal had 2. MD had 7. Duels lost. He lost 8, but also Cal lost 9. MD only lost 1.
He was their guy going for the ball. He is that workhorse, so he's going to have a lot of those.
Yeah,
especially if he's. In a lot of situations, they were a little more 2v1, where he's just going up in the air, trying to grab a little something on it. Especially because they were down a goal. But yeah, I just wanted to. It's probably the only time I'll ever touch on another player. He was just one of those guys that stuck out watching him play, and it was interesting. Usually, you don't get to see a lot of young talent for long, and it'd be nice to have another player of his caliber on our team.
Always. We always want high caliber players. Unlike that JD Torres guy.
I don't know who that is.
I don't know who that guy is. So we've talked a lot for 44 minutes, it looks like.
Yeah. Well, all we have left, right? I think all we have left is Saturday's game.
Yeah. So what do you want to say?
So you have the big three. We'll be traveling to Hartford, Connecticut, take on Hartford Athletic Saturday, June 14th at 7 p.m. So
7 p.m. kickoff.
Kickoff 7 p.m.
7 p.m.
Yep. It's going to be a good one, like always. Hartford sitting at the bottom of the table, 6 points. I believe they're 1 point above Tampa right now, who lost everything because we took Cal from them.
Yeah.
Loudoun could be the same way, and that's another reason why they don't want to get rid of Abu Korra, because if we took him, they would be just like Tampa.
Yeah.
Could be. So, Hartford Athletic this weekend should be a good one. I don't think Landry starts. I don't think Landry starts.
You don't
That's
think? Okay.
my
Let's do some score predictions.
All right.
Patrick starts off.
Yeah, so I'll just touch on Hartford's form first. Obviously, they started the season terrible, and their last 5 games in the league have not gone any better, winless. So I think that continues. I think the Battery go up. We've already beat them 4-2 once, and I think we're going to go and get a 3-0 clean sweep, and I'll give them all to MD.
Ooh, the doctor. How many did you say? How many goals?
3.
Calling for a Hattie in Hartford.
I'll call it the doctor lobotomy.
Yeah, they're not going to have much luck either. It's us, and then they play Loudoun. So,
well, I want to go back to your statement about how they haven't won one in the last 5, but they've drawn against Detroit City. They have drawn against Indy 4-4, so they can score some goals. And they draw against Louisville 1-1. So, so there's some sparks there. But
they like red cards.
Here's the crazy thing about the Louisville game. That's what I was about to say. I'm looking at the Hartford-Louisville game, and Hartford got a red card in the 65th minute, and they were down 1-0 to Louisville, and then scored the equalizer in the 88th minute with a man down.
Nice.
It's awesome.
Hartford have 6 red cards on this year so far. So they get red carded against a team like the Battery.
Let's see if we get them a 7th. So 5 games ago, we played Hartford, beat them 4-2 at Patriots Point, if I remember correctly. So, Ryan, what's your score prediction?
I'm going with a 4-1.
4-1.
Going with a 4-1. I'm respecting Hartford because the last time we played them, 4-2 at home. Not thinking anything less, though. I still respect them enough to give them a goal. Most likely probably be either a penalty kick or just an open play goal. I'm going with MD with a brace and a Kaza getting on the score sheet.
Interesting. I'm going 2-0 with a new player we got. What's his name, Patrick? The new guy?
J something.
JD somebody or other. I don't know.
JD Byrider.
Juan David, of course. Yeah, 2-0. He was frustrated this time. He's gonna start shooting some crazy shots from right outside the box, and you're gonna see some lasers.
Are you sure ESPN coming on soon? I think he may make the top 10.
He needs to. He's a little thirsty. He had his little break. He come back and he said, "Okay, I see you guys aren't up to my game." And then he's, "I want to really stick it to the next team." Just stick a fork in them. Shh.
And then after Hartford, we have Miami, so it's it's gonna be a good run. And I think that's where we get some players to rest in this game too, especially not trying to travel all of them up to Hartford.
Yeah. What's the weather supposed to be in Hartford?
It's 50, 60.
Rain?
Whoa, is it raining up there?
I don't know, but if it is, they need to take a rag to the hand of the cameraman.
Let's see what the weather's supposed to be.
Should always we'll buy them for every stadium.
Yeah.
I think they have a 30-pack at Costco we can get.
It's 70 degrees is the high for Saturday with a 70% chance of rain in Hartford.
Sweet. Okay, lads, bring the cold weather gear
On a warm, rainy night.
on a warm, rainy night in Hartford. Okay, guys, that's all I got right now.
All right, I'm running out of daylights.
And
See you
out of
guys on
baby time. There it is. Yeah. Okay, y'all. Catch you later.
Can you feel the thunder? We the fleet of Charleston, come to put you under.